This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
New at 11, owners of an East Side grocery store are heartbroken and frustrated after finding their business broken into and ransacked.
And this isn't just any store. A&I Variety Meats and Produce opened last year to serve a need in an area known as a food desert, where residents have a hard time accessing fresh and affordable food. RTV6 reporter Cameron Riddle shows you why the damage left behind hurts the entire community and what the owners plan to do next.
A&I Grocery Store has been open for nearly a year now, and what should be an anniversary celebration is now a crime scene investigation after someone broke in and ransacked the store this weekend.
Pushed my rack down, what product that was on it as well. Bust my other cooler door.
When Robert Hurst arrived to find his grocery store ransacked and burglarized Sunday morning, he said words we can't repeat on TV. After a year of serving a community known as a food desert, Hurst is now literally picking up the pieces of one of the area's few grocery stores. The small business on the corner of 38th Street and Post Road opened last February with hopes of feeding the Far East Side. Tonight, the store is closed and suffering the loss of thousands of dollars in stolen food.
They emptied it out. This the freezer I had full of ribeyes and stuff, so they just took everything out of that.
This isn't the first time A&I has been visited by thieves.
I told my wife that, I said, same time last year. I said, but the thing last year, they broke the window and the door, but we didn't have as much in here.
In a year's time, Hurst says he's invested thousands of dollars of his own money in the store. In the past few months, he's increased inventory, moving from just fruits and vegetables to meats and frozen food.
I just so emotional, man. I think I cried, man, probably about 3 or 4 hours, man. Just standing out there in that parking lot.
As police investigate, they'll be looking for the suspects who left behind shoe prints and even drops of blood. Now A&I shoppers are having to look elsewhere to get their groceries.
Kroger's not here no more. Walmart not here no more. So to see this guy, we have became friends, and to see the things that he's doing in the community, my community, for the Far East Side. I remember walking to Osco. Now we're able to come here and to be a part of it.
Hurst says an outpouring of community support is now fueling him to keep going, but says there's one thing he doesn't understand.
Why? Why would you do this, man? You just could have came up in here, hey, Robert, I don't have it. Okay, cool. What you need?
Working for you on the East Side, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
A&I did not have security cameras, and the alarm system did not alert the police. Hurst says that his insurance company will be out tomorrow to survey the damage. In the meantime, he's looking at installing a new security and camera system.
Now to two situations where we are working for you to help resolve. A parking lot on the northeast side of Indianapolis is underwater, and drivers in Pendleton are worried about an intersection they call dangerous. They say the 700 West State Street exit near Enterprise is confusing and causing several crashes. Brandon Evans takes that exit every day on his way to work. He suspects an added roundabout in the area, combined with construction, is to blame.
For some people that's new around here, that doesn't live around here, they don't know the area, so they're not paying attention. So it's difficult at times.
RTV6 talked to the Pendleton Planning Department about this issue today. A representative says drivers making illegal turns instead of following the roundabout has caused some crashes. They told us no U-turn signs would be installed today. We checked the area around 7:45 tonight and did not see any signs. We will continue to follow up.
I ran right to the front door of the building, and there's my car floating from the parking space.
And we are still working to get answers for tenants at this apartment complex in Castleton. They reached out to RTV6 for help over the weekend after the parking lot flooded, damaging cars and blocking access to apartments. Diana Smith says she cannot drive her car now after flooding almost washed it away. We went back to the complex today and found high water is still an issue there. Diana and other residents say they are not getting answers or help from management.
It's been extremely frustrating. I think it would kind of alleviate some of the frustration if we weren't in the dark about everything. But when you call the office, no one knows anything, no one can give you any direction, no one knows what next steps are going to be taken.
They have to rectify this. They have to rectify it with me. I am a good person. I have been a good renter. I thought I was moving to a safe place, and no, I'm not. I need help.
As RTV6 tried to get answers, a manager at the leasing office directed our crew to a corporate office. We tried calling and stopping by that office, but corporate officials declined to comment. RTV6 will continue to shed light on this issue and work to get a resolution for the people impacted.
At 6 minutes past 11, let's get our Storm Team 6 forecast. If you stepped outside this evening, you recognize that there's a different feeling in the air. Those temperatures have dropped.
We're not used to the 30s. We're used to the 50s and 60s. We'll be back in the 50s tomorrow. The other important thing, we're dry, and we'll stay that way for the next 24 hours. 35 in Indy, 31 in Lafayette. I think these temperatures are about ready to hit rock bottom for tonight. They'll actually slowly start to rise, and by morning should be middle to upper 30s. Tomorrow, some sunshine, not a lot, but we should see some temperatures push 50 degrees during the afternoon hours. Want to point out the chance for showers will return. These should be light. Not everyone will see the showers on Wednesday, but that's our next opportunity. Still to come, we've got to talk about our late week snow potential. Look at weekend rain and a cold blast after that.
A meeting to discuss the future of a local fire department turned heated tonight as citizens question the process to make major changes to the Owen Valley Fire Department.
Nobody is going to ask the president if this is going to be nighttime, daytime, how are you going to do it? No discussion.
8 in the evening, 9 in the evening. I'm just curious about that.
We're done. If you want to ask questions, you can do that microphone. We're not going to sit here and argue.
At the meeting, the Owen County Fire Territory Board voted to approve 3 new paid firefighter positions. The decision comes after the department, made up mostly of volunteers, could not reach a contract agreement with the board. We've been following the situation since last month. Lieutenant Joe Fry told RTV6 the group never had a chance to negotiate the terms of the contract. The board's attorney says it's going in a different direction.
We decided that considering all the problems, not just with them, but with recruiting firefighters and such things, that we were going to go ahead and start hiring our own firefighters as opposed to contracting with the Owen Valley Fire Department as a separate entity.
We're wiping our hands clean of it. I can kind of close this book. I'm done volunteering in my community for this fire department, as long as these other guys are too. So it's a shame, but at least we were able to be heard tonight.
The new positions are for 1 full-time firefighter and 2 part-time firefighters.
Indiana University is now facing a class action lawsuit over mold in dorms. The legal action represents about 3,000 students. Class action status was granted last week. The lawsuit claims that the IU knew about the mold conditions in the dorms for several years and misled students about its severity. It also claims that many students got sick and that the university encouraged doctors at the campus health center not to tell students that their symptoms could be caused by mold.
In some cases, unfortunately, some of the students became seriously ill and really suffered the loss of their first year of college.
The mold forced students to move out of their dorms in the fall of 2018. 2 of the impacted buildings, McNutt and Foster, are under renovation now because of the problem. They're expected to reopen sometime next year. Mold was also detected in nearly 24 rooms at Teeter Quad.
The president of Franklin College is gone sooner than expected and under shocking circumstances as he faces child sex crimes charges in Wisconsin. The college announced the firing of President Thomas Minar today. Police arrested him in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin on January 6th. Prosecutors expect to file charges of attempted child enticement and exposing a child to harmful materials. A Franklin College spokesperson says the school fired Minar after becoming aware of an accident she describes as deeply disturbing. Last year, he announced plans to resign at the end of this academic year.
Tomorrow, the Northwest Hendricks School Board is expected to discuss a controversial policy that the ACLU calls a violation of the First Amendment. The policy says parents should not use social media to make rude or offensive comments or fuel outrage towards school staff or schools. Now, it's been in effect since 2016. One parent tells Call 6 Investigates the district handed out copies of the Code of Conduct at a December board meeting. Officials say that was in response to, quote, inappropriate and disruptive behavior at a previous meeting. Well, this comes after months of criticism from parents and the community over the handling of a sexual misconduct claim against a Tri-West high school teacher. Parents who violate the Code of Conduct can be removed from school property and banned from school grounds.
Tomorrow, Governor Eric Holcomb will outline his agenda for 2020. The State of the State address starts at 7 p.m. It could include plans to address concerns over teacher pay. Look for live coverage tomorrow on the news at 7, the RTV6 app, the RTV6 Facebook page, and on the IndyChannel.com. Construction is underway on a new grocery store in Fishers. A sign says coming soon, Aldi, at the Old Fresh Market on 116th and Cumberland Road. We are working to learn exactly when the store will open. Last month, Aldi opened a new location in Castleton.
New at 11, a fitting tribute to a man whose legacy in Indianapolis is music to your ears. This evening, the Indianapolis Symphony Orchestra celebrated the life and legacy of Maestro Raymond Lepard. The memorial at Hilbert Circle Theater was, of course, a musical tribute. Lepard died in October at the age of 92. He served as conductor and music director of the ISO from 1987 to 2001. He's credited with raising the artistic profile of the orchestra through international tours, recordings, and broadcasts. And Duthie McCafferty performed in the ISO during Lepard's tenure.
Someone who lives as long and as full a life as Raymond did, you have to celebrate. I'm sad because I've lost a friend. I've lost a colleague, a very special gentleman. But I think today has to be one of happy remembrance and celebration.
Lepard also created a local holiday tradition, the popular Yuletide celebration concerts. Representatives say the British native loved Indianapolis so much, he made the city his permanent home and became a U.S. citizen in 2003.
Baby's out the window. They're throwing the baby out the window.
Coming up, 911 calls capture the frantic moments when people at an Indianapolis apartment go from neighbors to heroes.
If affording to heat your home in the winter is a problem, help is available. The annual assistance program that started today.
It was a Monday crowd, but worth the wait in the end for the Pacers, right?
Oscar nominations came out tonight. The Pacers had a couple guys who were certainly best supporting actors here this evening.
No question about that. The Oscar goes to, we'll tell you after the break here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse.
Get your tickets today at DisneyOnIce.com.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Tonight, we are hearing the terrifying moments after an apartment caught fire on the northeast side of Indianapolis. Neighbors worked together to save two children after a mother was forced to throw them from a third-floor window. We followed the fight against this fire live Friday night on the news at 11. IFD says at least 12 people called 911 within a few minutes, reporting the fire at Pangea Prairie's apartments near 46 in Arlington. Many of the callers witnessed a woman, her 3-year-old and 7-month-old children trapped in third-floor apartment. Firefighters say other tenants gathered in front of the window and worked as a group to catch the kids.
There's a lot of houses in there. Y'all need to hurry up.
Anybody? Baby's out the window. They're throwing the baby out the window? Yes, we got the babies.
The mother also jumped out of the window. They were not hurt, but were taken to Riley Hospital for Children as a precaution.
A suspect accused in a deadly crime that left Indianapolis in shock and on edge is scheduled to learn his sentence on January 23rd. Today, Devin Seats agreed to plead guilty to murdering Dr. Kevin Rogers. The prominent Indianapolis doctor was shot and killed during a break-in at his home on the northwest side in 2017, just days before Thanksgiving. His wife found his body. 3 other suspects have agreed to plead guilty to burglary charges. And the truck driver charged in an interstate crash that killed a mother and her twins has entered a new plea. Bruce Pollard pleaded guilty but mentally ill to several criminal charges, according to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. 29-year-old Alana Coons and her 18-month-old daughters died after Pollard's semi slammed into stop traffic on I-69 near the Keystone exit in July.
3 Bartholomew County Sheriff's deputies have been suspended and demoted for failing to serve an emergency detention order. The man who should have been detained under that order was shot to death the same evening after confronting a homeowner with a baseball bat. The sheriff suspended Lieutenant Gary Niff, Sergeant Jason Lancaster, and Sergeant Jason Williams 15 days each without pay. According to investigators, the deputies made contact with Derek Henderson on January 3rd, but they did not detain him after he refused to leave his home.
A boil water alert in parts of Hamilton County is impacting schools and nonprofit agencies. The warning applies to all Indiana American Water customers in Noblesville and parts of Fishers. The company says a loss of pressure at a water treatment center caused the problem. You're advised to boil all drinking and cooking water for 3 minutes. Water for washing and bathing is okay, according to the company. Noblesville School says it will have an e-learning day tomorrow due to this advisory. And the Humane Society for Hamilton County is asking for donations of 1-gallon jugs of water for its animals. The shelter says it does not have the resources to boil enough water to support the more than 300 animals in its care. Donations can be dropped off as early as tomorrow morning at the location on Pleasant Street in Noblesville.
Lows in the 20s and even the teens are in the forecast this week, and as temperatures go down, heating bills go up. If you need help paying those bills, the United Way kicked off its Winter Assistance Fund today. The fund helps cover utility costs for people who do not qualify for the state's low-income energy assistance program. For more info about the program, go to theindychannel.com or the RTV6 app.
And you can already feel that chill in the air tonight. It's here.
But before we get to the really cold stuff, we're going to squeeze in some more warmth.
Okay.
Yeah, that goes easy on the heating bill when we're in the 50s. We've got a couple days like that. Flashback, I'm sure you don't even remember this. It seems bizarre to say that we've had above average snowfall so far this winter. We're a little behind, obviously, this month, but November, there's your total. December, that was a 2-day total, but still gave us more than average for the month. I want to jump to the end of the week for a second. This is where the forecast gets tricky. Question is temperatures and how it plays in with the moisture. Right now, it looks like we'll start with some snow before this changes over to rain as warmer air is drawn into the state late Friday into early Saturday. Then it turns into a rain event. Could see some accumulating snow, though, before the transition to all rain. Temperatures right at 50 degrees tomorrow and Wednesday. We take a hit as we get to Thursday and Friday. Friday's that day of interest, right? Because our temperatures will be critical as the moisture and the cold air hang out together for a while with some snow, then change it over to rain as we get to Saturday. Temperatures exactly 51 tomorrow, 52 as we get to Wednesday. The chance for showers Wednesday, and I use that word showers rather than all-day rain or heavier rain. Not expecting much there. We won't aggravate any flooding with Wednesday. Thursday's dry again in 36. What about tomorrow? Hopefully we'll see some breaks in the cloud cover, but generally mostly cloudy is what I would look for. Temperatures right at 50 degrees. 35 is our average high this time of year. You'll notice the wind tomorrow a little stronger out of the southwest. There is the cloud cover through the morning hours. We get to the afternoon, there are some breaks in there. Did you see some late day sunshine today? Just before sunset on our western view, we were catching some breaks in the cloud cover. Temperatures tomorrow from 50 to the lower 50s. That'll be about 10 degrees warmer than what we had today. Wednesday morning, clouds in place. There are the showers. These are light. This is the middle to late part of the morning into the afternoon. Most of that shower activity will start to move away. Wednesday temperatures still warm compared to where we'll be as we get to Thursday and Friday as temperatures cool off. Once we have some snow, changing to rain, may be heavy at times during the day. Saturday, 45 for the temperature, 27 on Sunday. Want to point this out. The system that brings the rain Saturday then opens the door to the colder temperatures on Sunday. Even on Monday, lows are back into the teens, highs in the 20s. That's after we may see a little snow Friday, and then definitely see some rain Saturday.
It's coming. A little wet weather.
Hello, winter.
Right. All right, thanks for that, Kevin. The RTV6 sports team spent the evening at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Big game for the Pacers tonight, you guys.
Hey, guys.
Interesting night tonight at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. First, it was a Monday night crowd. So you kind of had to, it was kind of a laid back, but here they were playing the 76ers. This is a big game.
It should have been. I'll use a racing analogy. It felt like this game didn't get going till like lap 150. It needed some time to get going tonight.
Good point. Ben Simmons was unbelievable in the first half, had 20 points, but in the second half, just 4 more the rest of the way. Things really didn't get going until an unbelievable set of circumstances by, guess who, T.J. McConnell. I mean, here's a guy, a former Sixer. His dad is a head high school coach in Pennsylvania. He just brings so much energy when he comes, and then all of a sudden, man, he ripped off the drive, then the steal, then the assist. This play's finally at rock.
That's one of those plays that by the time the playoffs roll around, they get the hype video going here. When they get the thing going, that's going to pop into that because it's just that kind of juice that this team needed because they were just kind of dead for about 2.5 quarters there.
Down the stretch, it came down essentially to Brogdon. He was back after the strep throat. Remember, he missed several games, including Friday's game in Chicago. He hit some big shots, and then in the end, they needed some defense. T.J. Warren blocked Tobias Harris when they just had a 2-point lead, and all of a sudden, here you go. The Pacers get a big W over the Sixers.
Make plays when they need to. That was kind of the story of this tonight, coming up with a big win here over the Sixers.
I found the lane to the basket and kind of went up and, and made it, and then I'm getting up looking for my man, and he has his back turned to me, so I just kind of made one of those effort plays where I go grab it and hit Justin and kind of got the building really fired.
Everybody gets juiced up on that.
Yeah, I mean, so anytime we can make a play like that to get our fans like that and get our team taking it to another level, it's a big play.
It doesn't surprise me. Those are plays TJ makes all the time, and he really sparks, especially coming off the bench, he really sparks his team up with his effort. And so 2 big effort plays right there, and I think it turned the game around, from that standpoint.
Yes, I would say it was a very ugly game, but the most important thing is the win. It was a big game for us for that tiebreaker, and now we have one more against them.
If you're counting at home, the Sixers have now lost 6 in a row on the road. Pacers lead this series 2 games on. We talked about it at 6. This game could have big seeding implications come April.
Still play one more coming up in March in Philly, but everybody in the middle of the pack right now in the East, I got to tell you, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's going to be like this all the way down the stretch. A game like this tonight could ultimately decide home court in that first round of the playoffs.
I love this at the end. Domas Sabonis, remember he missed the Chicago game with that sore left knee. If you were watching the scoreboard, he needed 1 point at the end for a double-double. Got it done as they ice the game. Pacers get the dub, 101-95. On to Minneapolis on Wednesday. For Brad Brown, Day First, RTV6 Sports.
Shine brighter than you ever thought possible.
Covering the State House, a new proposal would allow undocumented immigrants to get driver's licenses.
That's currently against the law in Indiana because proof of legal status is needed. The author of the bill says the proposal would not allow an undocumented person to vote or provide a pathway to citizenship. Representative Chris Campbell and other advocates says the change would benefit all of Indiana.
This has been proven to be good for the economy. It makes our roads safer. All of these things have been well documented, and it lowers the rate of uninsured motorists.
We deserve basic human rights, like driving in the street without the fear of being deported. And so we thank everyone that's here today, and we just urge the state to really live to its potential.
For an undocumented immigrant to be eligible for a driver's card, they would have to have a tax ID and pass both driving tests. The bill has yet to receive a hearing in the Indiana House.
The race for Indiana Attorney General could leave a party divided. Adam Krupp, the commissioner of the Indiana Department of Revenue, is resigning his position to run for Attorney General this year. He's running as a Republican against incumbent Curtis Hill, who is also a Republican. Hill is running for re-election despite allegations of sexual misconduct that first came to light in 2018. Hill has denied any wrongdoing. Indianapolis attorney John Westerkamp is also running on the Republican side. The winner will be determined by delegates this summer. Let's give you a live look at traffic from our INDOT camera on I-465 and Binford Boulevard. We'll be right back here with a final check of your forecast. You're watching RTV6.
Big money at Menards.
Mixture of clouds and sunshine tomorrow. Temperatures back in that familiar territory of the lower 50s. Wind out of the southwest will hold off until Wednesday for some showers. Keep an eye on Friday and Saturday as it gets more interesting as we head to the weekend.
Amanda says she didn't feel really cold today.
I know. I'm starting to get used to it.
Oh, well. All right.
I didn't
have your
say
coat,
it.
I guess. Is what
I didn't say it.
Right, exactly. Have a good night, everybody.